it's Leslie and welcome back to my channel. Don't forget to like and subscribe and also turn that notification bell on so you know when I upload. So I usually do hair and beauty videos. Today's video is all about NARS. Basically I always see like full face of this and full face of that. It's usually like a very glam, boom, like in your face beat. And that's just not how I wear makeup. Like sometimes I do, but on an everyday basis, this is how I'd wear a full face of NARS. I love makeup, but I don't love spending time doing makeup. So everything I always do is really simple and like easy to follow and tend to go for natural vibes. Probably need to stop saying that. I feel like I say natural vibes in every video. This is the look, in case anyone's like wondering when I'm gonna put makeup on. A couple of new bits that I'm not totally familiar with, but generally most of this stuff is stuff that I really love and have been using for a long time. NARS especially was just one of the brands that I've always found that caters really well to different skin tones. Basically I only ever used to use like MAC and NARS at one point. This is not sponsored by NARS, but they did gift me a lot of product. A lot is bought as well. I will list everything in the description bar. So I've basically styled everything that's gifted so you know what's what. So this is my skin completely bare. I did put on my skincare already because I don't use any NARS skincare. And yeah, this is how we're looking. Got a couple of scars from picking my face, but so with all foundations and pretty much always I generally wear a primer. So what I'm using is the Radiance primer. So this is really glowy. It's got SPF protection, so it's broad spectrum protection. I will put on sunscreen separately because generally you need quite a lot of sunscreen to actually protect your face for the amount that it actually says it's going to protect it. It does smell a little bit like sunscreen, but it is really nice. It feels really nice on the skin. It doesn't really feel like most primers. It feels like a moisturizer. So you can see, really glowy. There's actually quite a few NARS foundations that I love. The one I'm using at the moment is the Sheer Glow. I remember when I first tried this, I wasn't sure about it because I've got oily skin. It's not the best foundation for oily skin, but at the moment, because it's winter, my skin seems to be alright with it. It's lasting a lot longer than it usually does. So the shade I use is Stromboli, so it's a medium 3 olive undertone. And I really wish more brands would do olive undertone foundations because that's my biggest struggle. I'm basically olive and warm, so I always have to mix foundation. This is really good, but it's probably a touch too light. So they recently expanded the shade range to 40 shades. I can only see 20 on their UK website at the moment, so maybe that's something that's coming soon. There's no alcohol, there's no fragrance. I mean, it doesn't really smell like anything. It's not acnogenic. It doesn't actually come with a pump. I bought the pump separately. And the advice is to basically apply it with your fingers. Your fingers basically warm up the product and help it blend in. I am starting to use my fingers a lot more for foundation. For a while I was using just brushes and sponges. I feel like I use less product if I use my fingers. The edges of my face are darker, but we'll fix that with bronzer. Generally it's a very natural finish, super sheer. You're still going to see scars, any pigmentation issues. So I always get foundation on my lips, so I'm just going to remove that. So now we've got our canvas, which very much looks like skin. I'm going to go in with concealer. I'm sure everyone already knows this concealer. It's probably their most popular product. If you don't know it, it's a Radiant Creamy Concealer. Comes in this 6mm tube and it's got a nice doe foot applicator. And it's just super creamy as you'd expect. It's medium buildable coverage, really long lasting. A lot of people use it under their eyes. I just literally just use it to conceal blemishes. So the shade I'm using is Ginger. So that's a golden tone for medium complexions. So again, this is probably a little bit too light for me. I would love them to expand their range because the ones that are a touch darker are over the wrong undertone or they're just too dark. I'm just literally just going to dab it in places I want a bit more coverage. So then I just kind of pat around it and on it just to kind of blend it in. Just like this really soft tapping motion because I don't want to remove it. It's super blendable, creamy, good if you've got dry or oily skin, so it's a winner. So for highlight, again, I still want to keep it super natural. So there's two I really love, and it's the Illuminators in Copacabana and Hot Sand. This is an opalescent pink pearl, so very like icy shade. Hot Sand is a peach champagne. I'm gonna mix them together so I get more what I'm looking for. I want something a bit more icy. I've got quite a lot on my finger, but we're just going to see if we can blend that out. Just going to tap and then blend. Really good for dry skin. It photographs really well. It looks really nice in person. Definitely got too much on my hand. And blend. I tend to just apply them to the tops of my cheekbones and my brow bone. So I do get creasing on my eye with the foundation, which is why generally I can't put too much on my eyes because I do get really bad creasing, but I will fix that with when we go in with powder. This is how we're looking after highlights. So I've got into the habit of using a lot of bronzers recently. I really love the original Laguna bronzer. I also love the Sunwash Diffusing bronzer, and so this is in the shade Laguna. They've got deeper shades, but this is one of the mediums. It's really pretty. It's a soft matte natural finish. This is blurring. It's like a very smooth finish. It's matte. It's just a really nice way to add colour to the face without like it being really obvious. So just bringing the shape back to my face. I do have quite prominent cheekbones, so it's not a massive difference. I just like that it's a wash of colour and it's not anything too intense. If you really want to sculpt things out, you can go under your jaw. So yeah, we just look a little bit more sculpted, but in a way that's still natural. With blush, do you know what? There's actually a lot of NARS blushes that I really like. One I bought recently, I haven't actually tried this yet. It's called Gina. Gina's meant to be a matte tangerine, but it looks very pink to me. Okay, this is not really a blush brush, but we're just gonna apply it. I want it to be quite soft and just on the apples of my cheeks, really. Oh, it's pretty. I want it more here and then just sort of fade it out to make it look a bit more natural. Kind of want to go in with another highlight. So I'm just going to go in a highlight. This is Fort de France. When I first tried it, I was like, I don't like this highlighter because it's just not showing up on my skin. And then I went outside and I was like, oh my god. It was actually more intense than I realised. So I've got a bit here. I think if you're darker than me, there's better NARS highlighters. But this is pretty. So I don't want to overdo it. So I feel like everything needs to blend a bit more. So I'm just going to go in with some powder, light reflecting loose setting powder in translucent crystal. It's meant to be good in any light apparently. It's light reflecting, obviously, photo friendly, but I've seen so many mixed reviews of it. Some people are saying it has really bad flashback, whereas NARS are saying it doesn't have flashback. In all honesty, I very rarely take pictures with flash. Ooh! Oh my god, it's gone everywhere. Yeah, this is messy. I wanted to use a little bit, but... oh my god. Unless it's like a powder foundation, I don't really use powder. I don't bake or do any of the stuff that people would do with powders. I think it's just too much. I feel like NARS is lagging in the brow department. I have been using more pencils recently, so this is the Brow Perfector. This shade, I don't know how to say this, Näia? It's a medium cool brown, pencil on one side, spoolie brushed thing on the other side. Yeah, very softly filling them in. But I really like this colour because it's not too warm and it's not too cool, and it doesn't look too harsh on my skin tone, because a lot of the stuff that's darker tends to be really dark, and then I have really harsh brows. It doesn't get the lines as precise as you want just because it's so creamy. It's very different to some of the other pencils I've used, and it feels more like an eyeliner. So NARS does have a brow gel. Basically you kind of brush it through and it gels it, but it doesn't add anything. For people that are not gifted in the brow department like myself, I need more. To set my brows, I'm not going to go in with a brow gel because I don't have it. But what I've been using a lot is aloe vera gel. I'm just going to take a spoolie and, what are you doing? And then I just kind of run that through. You just don't want to use a lot because you don't need it, basically. So next we're going to do my eyes. Generally on a day-to-day basis, I don't wear eyeshadow. I literally just wear mascara. So I'm going to apply the Climax mascara. So it's the Climax Dramatic Volumizing Mascara. So it's a buildable volume. So basically you can apply one coat, let it dry, and then apply another if you want it like really volumized and thick. You're meant to use 2 coats for everyday wear and then another coat if you want like that extra drama. I've seen so many mixed reviews of this. Some people really love it and some people are just not that keen. It's not the most natural one they have. They've definitely got better ones for a more natural like lengthening and like lift. This is with 2 coats, and then we're just comparing with the other side. There's a tapered tip so you can get the bottom lashes and you can add more volume. I wouldn't say it's particularly curling. I mean, I have quite curly lips generally. Curly lashes generally. Very rarely wear lip liner, but I decided to put this on today. It's the Precision lip liner in Jerez, maybe, I don't know, but it's a taupe grey. It kind of matches the outside of my lips. Basically my lips are dark on the outside and then pink in the middle, so we're just gonna like put it on and emphasize that basically. I'm just smudging it out. I don't want it all over my lips, just around the edges. Sometimes I leave it like this and I just add a balm, or I go in with a lip colour. This is the NARS Velvet Lip Glide. This is the shade Swing, which is a neutral rose, and oh my god, it's so pretty. It's a gloss, but it covers like a lipstick. It feels so smooth, so creamy, it feels comfortable. It's like this semi-matte finish. So I'm just applying it to the centre and pressing in. You can build it up a bit more if you want to. This is how we're looking when we're done. I hate the posy bits of videos where you have to be like, here's my face, but let me sort my hair out because it's not good. Probably my go-to look at the moment. I do this all the time. Like, I like makeup, but I never want to sit and do the absolute most. I like it to just look natural and fresh and just like effortless, and like I haven't really tried, but I definitely have. I do this similar look with different brands, but this is how I do it with NARS. And I hope you guys like it. If you've got any suggestions for videos, let me know. If you liked this video and you really like this whole sort of full face of a brand, let me know and suggest brands, because I can do that next. Still seeing residual powder everywhere. Oh god.